Hello and welcome back to Wednesday Web Page Builders. I am Miss Blair and I am leading you through how to build a web page, a blog, or whatever using HTML. I am very pleased to be here. This is the 5th lesson, so if you are just tuning in, I suggest you go back to the first lesson, which was posted on September 2nd. And then catch up because I'm not going back in this series. It builds upon itself. For example, today's lesson, we're going to use last week's code that we built. So feel free to stop this video if you're just now joining us and go back to those lessons. First one posted September 2nd. I promise these videos aren't being taken down at any time. Work through them at your own pace. And yep, so let's get started. We are in Sublime Text. I just kind of wrote out some of my vocabulary terms today, just so that you can see it as I'm reading it along. So today we are working on style and CSS. So we are going to learn how to make our page look more polished and make our code more reliable and adaptable. You do this through style sheets. The code language we use to say what goes on a web page is called HTML, what we have been using. The language we use to describe how these elements will look on the screen is called CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. There are 3 main ways we can use CSS, and I have put them down here. The first one is inline styling, and that is where we put the styling information inside the opening tag of paragraph elements. Okay, we have internal style sheets where we put the styling information within the web page, and there are external style sheets, which allows you to change the appearance of the whole site by changing just one file. This is a separate file that each page has a link to. Okay, so very broad definitions of HTML, very broad definitions of CSS. Just want you to be aware of it. I'm going to now erase all of our vocabulary. Okay, so like I said, we are going to be working on last week's project. So we go to File, Open File, and last week was Photos, so I'm going to open up Photos. Okay, I want to save this as stylish, because we're doing something new to it, and if we go back, I want to learn that. So I'm going to click Save As, and it is stylish.html. All right, so it's going to take photos out and replace this with stylish. We're okay with that. Awesome, changed it up here. We are good to go. So what we're going to do today to our pictures of the lion, elephant, dolphin, and tiger that we created last week is we're going to add a style section. So I'm going to click my cursor and put it at the end of that opening HTML tag, and I'm going to click down just a couple because I'm going to be adding some style up in here today. So I'm going to click back on number 2 under HTML, and the code that we are about to create is going to give all of the images a solid black border of 8 pixels thick. They will also have a margin of 8 pixels around them, and they will be 90 pixels high. Okay, so we are going to open our style tag. Ooh, if I can spell, y'all know I'm having problems spelling. Okay, so we've got style, and then you're going to tab down, arrow down, and then tab in. Okay, so I should have a little indentation just like you do for your paragraphs. We're going to do IMG, no opening tag or anything. We're already within the style. So all of this can be like that. And then you're going to shift and do your little fancy bracket, fancy parentheses up there. It's right next to the P on your clipboard. If you click shift, that is the one that you want. And we're going to type in border because we want the border. And I was trying to play around with this, and for right now, for all intents and purposes, just ignore the things that it pops up. When we all become better at HTML, that becomes faster, but just kind of ignore it for right now. And then we have our colon, and we're going to type in 8px, short for pixels, and then space, and then we're going to type in solid space black, And then I love it. It has already given me a semicolon, so I'm just going to enter down. It should already be tabbed in for me. I'm going to type in margin. Look at that. It's making it look all pretty. It tabbed it in again for me. Here's our colon, and that is also going to be 8px, 8 pixels. Then we have our semicolon, space, the height. Remember, we want it to be colon 90 pixels, px. I'm going to tab over from the semicolon, and I'm going to hit enter again. I'm going to type in body. Then I've got another one of those fancy brackets, and I do background hyphen color colon orange. Then I should have my semicolon, and I need to erase one of those. So I only want one at the end. Okay. Then I'm going to click down, so I should be on number 6, all the way over to the left, and I'm going to close out my style. Did it for me. So closing out my style tag, and then I'm going to erase 8 and 7. So now I'm all nice and neat. So what we added was our open style tag image, and we are styling these sheets as border 8 pixels, solid black, margin 8 pixels, height 90 pixels, and the body background color orange. All right, and then we closed out our style tab. Good, good, good. Oh, I want an ending fancy bracket there. So it should be image. So these are for all of the images, and then for the body, we have that. All right, so remember, you can click Control S, or we can do File Save. And let's try opening up Stylish. Woo, look at that. So now all of my images have, it looks like picture frames. So we gave them a frame, they're all the same height, and we made our background orange because it looks safari-ish. All right, so if you had added more images or whatever last week to other projects we have worked on, I suggest you go in, just copy down this border for right now, and then you can play around with it. What color do you think? Remember, we can add hex code here, right? So we can add, make it any color we want, just like we did with our font colors. So I suggest that you go back in, play around with this, learn more about image, so you can make the margins bigger, you can make the height smaller. Go in and play around with some of your other projects, and I am looking forward to next week.